Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Josh, and in this video we'll be talking about Pokemon cards. So this is a little bit different from my usual stock market investing content, but at the end of the day it is still investing. I like to think of Pokemon card investing as similar to something like investing in art or collectible stamps, and personally I do collect Pokemon cards and it makes up a small portion of my portfolio. To give you a little bit of background, I basically grew up on Pokemon. I played the Pokemon video games, the red and blue version, as well as the trading card games when I was as young as 4 or 5 years old, but Pokemon cards were never cheap, and to any young kid or their parents, the thought of Pokemon cards being an investment seemed like such a foreign idea, and to me that was certainly the case as well. At the end of the day, they are just pieces of cardboard, right? Well, it wasn't until 2016 when Pokemon Go came out that I started getting back into the hobby. As you might have remembered, a lot of people went out of their way to catch Pokemon in public, and me seeing the resilience of the Pokemon brand having stood the test of time, reliving nostalgia, and having more disposable income, decided to collect Pokemon cards and still continue to do so. So in this video, we talk about all things Pokemon cards. Firstly, we talk about the investment case for Pokemon cards. Secondly, we talk about the recent rise in the popularity of the hobby. Thirdly, we talk about how you can invest in Pokemon cards as well. And lastly, I'll show you some of my Pokemon card collection, as well as talk a little bit about my most recent Pokemon card investment. As always, this is not financial advice. Always do your own research before investing. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give a thumbs up below. That really supports the channel. So to kick things off, let's start off with Pokemon as an investment. I think from an investment perspective, Pokemon can add a level of diversification in the same way like how art, gold, or Bitcoin does. The PWCC 100 index measures the investment performance of professionally graded trading cards over the past decade. Since 2008, PWCC 100 has returned 313%. Whereas the S&P 500 has returned 135%. The PWCC mostly comprise of basketball card returns. However, going forward, I expect Pokemon to represent a large chunk of the PWCC 100 index, because Pokemon is the largest grossing media franchise in the world, with the Pokemon card game generating over $12 billion in revenue annually. In other words, Pokemon is a serious contender in the form of art investment. Millennials who grew up with the hobby will be one of the highest income brackets going forward, and they will have the disposable income to spend on these types of alternative investments. Furthermore, the feeling of nostalgia, bringing them back to their childhood, is a really powerful driving force behind the increase in demand for these vintage cards. These are good tailwinds for the industry, and I think these are the factors that will drive the future returns on Pokemon cards as an investment. Next up, let's talk about the recent rise in the popularity of the hobby. In case you don't know already, Pokemon cards experienced a recent surge in popularity due to several influencers getting into Pokemon cards. Examples include Gary Vee talking about Pokemon cards as an investment, and several influencers including Logan Paul spending hundreds of thousands on vintage Pokemon cards, and Logic spending $220,000 on a Pokemon card. And yes, you did hear me right. It was one Pokemon card. The card that Logic bought was a virtually perfect card. To get a graded 10 card, one must send their card to one of two card grading agencies, one of which is the Professional Sports Authenticator PSA, and the other one out there being BGS or Beckett cards. Cards are then graded based on their condition from 1 to 10. The higher the grade, the higher the value of the card. And in case you're not familiar with Pokemon, Charizard is the most popular and sought after Pokemon in the hobby because it was one of the strongest first generation Pokemon, and there's also something about it that makes it look cool. After all, it is a fire breathing dragon. The card that Logan Paul and Logic both bought was the PSA 10 1999 first edition base set Charizard from the first edition base set. As you can see here from the logo, this is the first ever card set Pokemon released, making it one of the rarest cards available. In other words, this was the holy grail of Pokemon investing. If you're like me, chances are you don't have 200,000 lying around here to invest in Pokemon cards. After all, we do want a well-diversified portfolio. So how do you invest in Pokemon? To break Pokemon down into investing, there's really two types of investing here. You can invest in vintage products or invest in modern products. The economics of vintage will be different from modern cards, and the biggest, most obvious difference between the two is the supply. For vintage cards, supply is limited. Whenever a collector comes along and snaps up a card, it gets removed from circulation because collectors don't sell. And as supply decreases, prices skyrocket. In addition, there is a rising tide situation in the sense that the boom in one popular card lifts the prices of all other cards. In an article written in 2016, it said that people were struggling to sell that Charizard card, the same one that Logan Paul and Logic bought, for $600 to $700 in 2008. And in 2016, it was probably $4,500 to $5,000, shared Scott Pratt, a well-known Pokemon trading card expert. The growth has been pretty significant. And remember, this article was written in 2016. Pokemon saw a boom due to Pokemon Go in 2016. And then now again in 2020, with influencers starting to collect these cards, it has increased the price to over $200,000. As the value of the PSA 10 first edition Charizard increases, so too have other cards in the base set. The increase in prices for certain vintage cards will outpace others, similar to shares in companies. There will be winners and losers. If you have dedication to do research to understand the intricacies of vintage cards, then chances are you will find undervalued cards and there is serious money to be made. Personally, I think vintage cards are risky to invest in right now as prices have already increased as much as 5 to 10x in this year alone. No one knows where the short-term pricing of vintage cards will go. However, I have confidence that over the long term, these Pokemon cards will do well. Now moving on to modern cards. These are sets that are still in print, and some of these you can buy at your local store. Obviously, they don't have the same supply constraints, which means that you can buy these at retail prices. And once the set is out of print, prices usually go up. So technically, when a card set is out of print, what that means is that the Pokemon card company isn't producing those card sets anymore. However, the Pokemon company has done this in the past, whereby if a set is really popular and is sold out really quickly, then they can decide to reprint a certain set, even though the set is technically out of print. And what this does is that it floods the market with supply and decreases the value of those products. So for example, in 2016, I bought a booster box of Roaring Skies. So this has 36 packs of booster packs. This was going for around, I think, 300 New Zealand dollars or roughly 200 US dollars at the peak of its prices. People were going crazy over this box. Yeah, the Pokemon card company decided to flood the market with these Roaring Skies booster boxes. What that did was that it reduced the value of those investments, essentially. And at the moment, I still can't sell this for very much on top of my initial purchase price. So this was a fail investment. And this is the risk with investing in modern sets, whereby the Pokemon card company can reprint a set even though they say it is out of print. So there is some form of due diligence required to mitigate some of this risk. And finally, research is required to find good sets. Not all sets are created equal. The value of some sets will increase quicker than other sets depending on their supply, as well as the type of cards within the set. For example, the more Charizards within a set, the better. And remember, like how there are winners and losers in the vintage cards section, it is the same with modern products. So now let me show you my Pokemon card collection, as well as my most recent investment. So here is the XY Evolutions Elite Trainer box. I got these in 2016 for roughly $65 New Zealand dollars, or the equivalent of 40 US dollars at retail price. Currently these are going for 150 New Zealand dollars or 100 US dollars each on eBay. So this was a really good return on investment, and the reason why this thing has increased so much in value over the past 4 years is because of the value of the booster packs within this Elite Trainer box. The Evolutions pack actually increased so much recently because of the whole Logan Paul thing where he was opening up packs to get the Charizard. And the XY Evolutions booster packs have a similar looking Charizard as the first edition base set Charizard. So that's why the value of these Elite Trainer boxes have gone up so much. And the next product that I want to show you guys is the Generations Elite Trainer box. So this Generations Elite Trainer box, I got this for roughly $77 in 2016 as well, and currently they are selling like crazy, okay? This is, I think it's going for about 600 NZ dollars on eBay. That's equivalent to about 400 US dollars. So this is going like crazy at the moment. I probably won't sell this because this was released as part of their 20th anniversary of Pokemon. So hopefully this will continue to hold its value going forward, and I do expect it to continue to hold its value because it's something of a collectible item, okay? So if you're a Pokemon fan, chances are you want to collect this type of product. So this was also one of my best investments, but yeah, it's recently gone up in value so much. If you think about it, I actually sold one of these a month ago for 240 New Zealand dollars, and this month it's worth 600 New Zealand dollars. So I don't expect this value to hold, but over the long term, it should continue to rise up in value. And in terms of my latest investment, the latest investment that I made is in the Pokemon Champions Path Elite Trainer box. So it's a picture of a Charizard V Max. So this is a new version of the Charizard, and this Elite Trainer box here is basically all the hype at the moment, because the reason why it is all the hype is that you have a promo Charizard within it. So if you buy this box, you immediately are guaranteed a Charizard. And within the trainer box, there are booster packs as well that do have the chance for you to pull out a Charizard V Max Rainbow Rare. A very hyped up set here, and I think over the long term this one will do well. So the Champions Path Elite Trainer boxes currently retail for roughly 125 New Zealand dollars, or about 80 US dollars. Supply is kind of restricted at the moment, but do be on the lookout for more print runs and more waves coming out in December or January. If you're living in New Zealand like me and you want to get your hands on one of these, I did get these from my local card store from Bay Dragon. I will leave a link down below. So there you have it. There's definitely a lot to like about Pokemon and a lot to talk about, but I am trying to keep this video as short as possible because at the end of the day, we are an investing YouTube channel. So, you know, there are some similarities between investing in Pokemon and investing in other art as well as the stock market. And I do think Pokemon has a place in my portfolio, at least because I enjoy the hobby and I enjoy the artwork that goes into it. I know Pokemon cards won't be for everybody, but I hope that at least you enjoy this video and you get something out of it that, you know, you might be able to translate into art or other forms of collectibles. So thank you for watching this video. Until next time, take care.